In October of 2019, the quiet city of Raleigh, North Carolina, was shaken to its core by the sudden disappearance of Emily Carter, a 20-year-old university student whose life seemed to be just beginning. Emily was everything her friends and family admired: bright, ambitious, and endlessly kind. She was majoring in psychology and had dreams of working with children after graduation. Her close-knit group of friends often joked that Emily was the glue that held them all together. But when she vanished one ordinary night, the bonds of trust and loyalty would be tested in ways no one could have imagined. On the evening of October 12, Emily spent hours in the university library preparing for midterms. Around 9:50 p.m., she gathered her books, texted her roommate, "Heading back now. Save me some leftovers," and walked toward the parking lot. Security cameras caught Emily leaving the library, her bag slung across her shoulder, her face tired but cheerful. She waved goodnight to a fellow student. And then, as she crossed the dimly lit parking lot, she simply disappeared. Her car was later found exactly where she had left it, locked, with her textbooks still in the back seat. The next morning, when Emily failed to show up for brunch with her friends, alarms were raised. By evening, police had been called, and soon after, a full-scale search began. Flyers with Emily's smiling face covered the campus. Volunteers combed through nearby woods. Her family appeared on local news, begging for her safe return. At first, the working theory was straightforward but terrifying: a random abduction. The disappearance rattled everyone who knew her. Emily's parents described her as responsible, cautious, and always in touch with loved ones. Her younger brother said she was the safe sibling, the one who never broke curfew, who called home daily. Her friends were devastated, gathering nightly at her apartment, clinging to hope and replaying her last known steps. Among them, Sarah Mitchell, Emily's best friend since high school, stood out. Sarah was everywhere, organizing searches, talking to reporters, standing right beside Emily's mother at candlelight vigils. But behind the public grief, investigators noticed that Sarah seemed almost too present, too invested. Police began looking into Emily's life. At first, nothing seemed unusual. She was a model student with no criminal history, no dangerous relationships, no late-night partying habits. But when detectives searched her phone, they discovered a series of disturbing messages from an anonymous account. At first, the messages seemed harmless: compliments about her smile, notes about her class schedule. But over time, they grew possessive, even threatening. "You don't need them. You just need me. If you go abroad, I'll make sure you stay here forever." The account had been active for nearly 4 months. Emily never told her parents, but she had confided in one friend that she felt someone was watching her. That friend? Sarah. Police subpoenaed records from the anonymous account. The trail led not to a stranger, but to an IP address belonging to someone in Emily's immediate circle. That discovery rocked the investigation. Detectives narrowed in on Sarah Mitchell. When they pulled Sarah's phone records, they found that on the night Emily vanished, Sarah's phone had pinged in the same area where Emily's signal disappeared. Yet, Sarah told police she had been home all evening, alone. Even more damning, investigators uncovered drafted messages on Sarah's laptop that matched the language from the anonymous account harassing Emily. Still, there was no body. No direct evidence tying Sarah to Emily's fate. And so, detectives watched and waited. As days turned into weeks, Sarah's behavior grew stranger. She cried at every vigil but never shed actual tears. She seemed eager to give interviews, rehearsing lines about how much she missed Emily. And then, a chilling detail emerged. A fellow student recalled seeing Sarah walking quickly toward the parking lot the same night Emily vanished, just minutes after Emily was last seen. The pressure mounted. When detectives brought Sarah in for questioning, she tried to maintain her innocence. But as the interrogation dragged on, her story unraveled. Faced with mounting evidence, Sarah broke down. She admitted that she had followed Emily from the library parking lot. She had confronted her about plans to spend a semester abroad, a plan Emily hadn't even shared widely yet. Sarah feared Emily's departure would end their friendship for good. The confrontation spiraled into a heated argument. Sarah claimed she only meant to scare Emily into staying, but in the struggle, she struck her friend. Panicked, she drove Emily to a wooded area just outside town, where she hid the body beneath brush and branches. The revelation was devastating. For weeks, Sarah had stood beside Emily's grieving family, lighting candles, handing out flyers, and crying into news cameras, all while knowing exactly where Emily lay. When Emily's body was recovered, her family's grief turned to disbelief. How could someone so close, someone they welcomed into their home countless times, be responsible? At Sarah's trial, the prosecution painted a portrait of obsession. Witnesses testified to Sarah's growing jealousy whenever Emily formed new friendships or made independent choices. What seemed like devotion had, in reality, been possession masked as love. Sarah was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 25 years in prison. Emily Carter's disappearance, and the betrayal behind it, left scars that may never fully heal. Her family continues to honor her memory with scholarships for psychology students. Her friends say they still feel her absence every day, especially the silence left in group chats where Emily's messages once brought light. And perhaps the most haunting aspect of all, for weeks, the person who seemed to grieve hardest for Emily was the very one who had silenced her voice forever. Emily's story reminds us that sometimes, the greatest dangers are not strangers lurking in the shadows, but the people closest to us, the ones we trust most, hiding their darkest truths behind the mask of friendship.